Scott from Planet X News. I am here with our physicist live on the Planet X News YouTube channel. And we have some breaking news and a breaking discovery on some images that I was able to capture on one of the NASA cameras out there in outer space. It's actually called the SREM, S-R-E-M imaging. And I did a short video on this a few hours ago. I'm actually quite excited about the information that I found, and our doctor of physics is here with us, and we are going to examine some of these photographs, but there will probably be some further study on these photographs and understanding the way that these images are taken. This is just not a regular camera. It doesn't see things that a normal camera would see. There's a complete definition on how the SREM works, and I should have actually brought that information up, but I'm actually too excited about these images. So, Doctor, how are you this afternoon?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you, Scott. Yes, I'm very well, thank you. And you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm very, very excited. I have like 3 Red Bulls in me. I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. I am ready to rock and roll. And it was like God woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and he said, get your ass over to your computer right now and pull up these SETI images. Go to this date that was just about a week ago. And that was about a week ago that we were seeing that that flaring coming from what we thought was Jupiter, what NASA had labeled as Jupiter, and then boom, there you go. And I saw it. I saw it. So I did a short video, about it, and I worked for probably about 10 hours on those images. You can clearly see that NASA was trying to cover it up, trying to hide it. So I'm going to put one of these pictures up on the screen right now, and I want you to give us your opinion on what I discovered. Okay. Let's see. I'm so fidgety right now because of what I found. I've been at this now. I've been at this now for 14 years. 14 years. I've been trying to find this damn thing.
Okay, so let's look at that.
So this is the object that we're talking about right here.
Yeah.
Now, am I correct that this is Venus right here, and this is Jupiter?
Well, as you know, that's how they label them, but they often act like they are not actually planets. So it could be they either are the planets, but there are other objects behind them that they are hiding, and these objects are the brown dwarf stars that are ejecting plasma. Or it could be that sometimes they may cover up the actual planet and then label the larger object that's there that's doing all kinds of strange things. They label it as a planet. So they obviously are trying to hide these things, yes.
I was so excited. Okay. I was so excited whenever I caught a glimpse of this out of the corner of my eye, because I noticed that the light gray background that they usually have, and it's kind of ripply, kind of distorted because of the imaging, and out of the corner of my eye, when I was running the video and the dates, I saw it. It came through so fast, and then I went back to the beginning, and I immediately recorded the information into my computer, so they didn't delete it, and sure enough, there it was. And I'll be quite honest with you, I actually started shaking whenever I saw it. Wow. I mean, there is no doubt I've been looking at these images, oh my, so long, so many years I've been looking at them, and it's only now that I could actually physically with my own eyeballs look at something that is there that should not be there.
Yeah.
What did you think whenever you saw the short video that I posted?
I thought, wow, look at that. That object definitely has a very round outline. At least the hemisphere on the left-hand side is very round. That's definitely not just a background object. It looks like there's a real object there. So half of it is black, and the other side the other hemisphere, you can sort of get it, you see it faintly. So it's obviously dark on one side and there's emission on the other because these are particles.
Yeah.
The black always means protons. So, you know, that side would be emitting protons, the black side. Yeah, it looks extremely interesting. It definitely doesn't look normal. And it doesn't look like the rest of the background that's very squiggly, as you say.
Yeah, I'm trying to lighten it up for everyone.
Yeah.
So they can see it a little more clearly in the live stream. And ladies and gentlemen, the object that we are looking at is right here. If you follow my cursor, the object is right here. We are looking at possibly Venus here, or excuse me, I keep mixing Venus and Jupiter up. Too many Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Jupiter right here, Venus, and this is Earth right over in here, and it's almost out of the field of view of the camera. I'm just making sure. Okay, yeah, everybody could see that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's something else on these images, and that is the triangular wave fronts.
Yeah, I noticed
if you
that
look
also.
at the back, these triangular wave fronts are emissions from one of these objects, and it must be quite large. I've seen these before, and now that you lighten the image, they're very obvious. So there's something there and they cannot come from the sun. The sun does not cause this kind of wave front. So this is an object that's pulsing, okay, and sending out these wave fronts of energy. And I've seen it before, so there's obviously an object there. I don't think it's that little one, because these pulses look huge, so it must be something larger.
Yeah, I noticed
but
those
these
also.
pulses mean,
I noticed those also. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know exactly what they were. I could see that they were some type of a pulse or some type of a wave because of the perfect formation that they were in, but I didn't know what type of wave that would be.
Yeah, so again, it has to be a star that does that sort of thing. So we go back to stars. But, I mean, only a star can cause this kind of ripple effect. And it's actually wave fronts of energy. So there's a time interval between one ejection and then the next. And they are very regular. It's very strange. I wonder what kind of object, what kind of size and shape would do this kind of thing. I've been thinking about it for a while, actually, but I'm not sure. I just see that there's something there that's causing this.
Yeah, I wish I had better. I wish I had better. Well, not even like a photograph equipment program.
Okay.
To analyze these photographs a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here playing around with trying to tune it in a little bit better while we have the live.
I think it looks better when you lighten it. You definitely see it a bit better.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go to the original image. Now, this is the original image, and whenever you see this, the original image, it plays back. It plays through so fast that you don't even notice it. But what caught my eye was this shadowing. Yeah, this right here, that little football shape right there is what caught my eye, and this very large circle around what is supposed to be Jupiter.
Yes, there's definitely something there.
So what I can do from this point, what I could do from this point is try to lighten. Or,
that, Scott, that object, that little object that you first pointed to, now it seems to me that the black portion is like the only portion that's sticking out of a cloud, whilst the whiter part, the lighter part, may be a cloud of ionized gas around it.
Yeah, so I was thinking the same thing, that has to be something there. I'm just trying to tune this in. You can go ahead and keep your commentary going. I'm just trying to.
It looks actually like that brown dwarf that I observed in 2007, which NASA is not too happy about. But, that's what I saw. And this object in a way looks similar. It definitely looks like there's a ring of cloud around it. And the object is black. And when they first come into the solar system, I think they blacked. because they don't emit a lot of radiation. The cloud is what emits. That's why the cloud usually emits light, although these are particles. So it's a shrimp image. So it means something different that it's dark. It means that it's emitting another kind of particle to what the cloud is emitting. So,
yeah, see,
but it looks very...
Yeah, this original image.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely see the large round shape behind what they labeled as Jupiter. So they're obviously hiding something there in the background.
Yeah, because
so
my video making software is a lot more sophisticated than the regular program that I have in, to view pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just absolutely amazed. Yeah, see, I can hardly even adjust it because I had taken these photos and screenshotted them, and I used my video program to actually set these up.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, well, what I pick up immediately is the rectangular wavefronts. I see those. Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be an object there on the left edge of the image that's producing those. So, yeah, the article we were talking about yesterday, it showed there were 3 different objects that were ejecting plasma. So that to me told me there were 3 brown dwarf stars.
My goodness.
Now this one that ejects this kind of regular pulse thing, that's another one. That's a different one. So we now have 4. So basically we now have 4 brown dwarf stars, evidence for 4 brown dwarf stars close to the sun.
Oh my.
So, yeah. Because if you have one image where, or a series of images where plasma ejections come from different positions, now that's evidence for 3. And that's what I could see in those images. There was what they labeled Venus that was ejecting plasma. What they labeled Jupiter was ejecting plasma. And there was one other object that never actually showed up in the image, but was on just off the image on the right, and there was a plasma ejection from it. So that would have been 3. And now we have 4 plus. We have this other little one that may be another one. So if this one turns out to be one as well, then we have 5 brown dwarf stars around the sun. And that is amazing.
Absolutely incredible. What was I going to say? My mind's going 1,000 miles an hour right now.
Okay.
Whenever you're looking at this, it's so hard to figure out I'll just use the word, the depth perception or the distance, and trying to gauge the size of this object because we don't know exactly where it's positioned at.
That's right. We don't know.
I mean, it looks like it is very close to Venus and the Earth, but if this object is massive, then its size in this photograph is deceptive. It could actually be,
that's right,
further away and very, very large, or it could be closer and smaller.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with these cameras.
Yeah, it does look like it's behind that planet that we see in the foreground, because a little bit of the white on that planet covers up the black of that object.
Yeah, I'm going to zoom into that further.
So at least we know that it's further away than the planet, and if they label it as Venus, and it's actually a correct label this time, then it's further away than Venus. And it looks larger than Venus, and Venus usually looks big because of its reflective abilities. So yeah, but these brown dwarf stars don't have to be large. The most powerful ones are usually the smallest ones, because those are the densest. Those are the iron core brown dwarf stars. They are the smallest. They could even be the size of the Earth, and could have been larger than the sun when there were stars, main sequence stars. So the helium core brown dwarf stars are actually usually larger than the iron core ones, because iron is a lot denser than helium, so it collapses down to a smaller size.
I'm just still totally overwhelmed and amazed at looking at this, because I mean, over all of these years,
Yes.
trying to search through, stereo images and Secchi images, and your back is against the wall. There's nobody from NASA that's going to help you. They're not going to give you information. They're just not going to help you.
That's right.
It's basically left up to chance, and I believe today was just one of those chances. Like I said, whenever I woke up out of a sudden sleep. It was 3:03 a.m.
Wow.
The only thing that I had in my mind was to get to the computer right now, open it up, get to the Secchi images, and go straight to the SREM images and type in these dates. And the dates were I think the March 30th through April 4th. So
wow,
this is current. This is right now. Right now. But I'm going to go ahead and back out of this image, and let me scoot over to here real quick, and I'm going to stop sharing for just a moment, and I am going to go over, and I had some video footage that I also copied.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and pull that up real quick. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I caught another anomaly that I do not know what this thing is. And I'll go ahead and share that real quick because it showed up in the frame for a short while, and then it was gone. And I'm looking at this right here.
Okay, yes. Well, it does look like there's something there.
Now, I do have the video on it.
That looks strange.
Yeah, it just appears, and it's in several of the frames. And like I said, they've made the frames on a lot of the imaging 2-hour increments instead of the 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
and that happened since last night, since our interview yesterday, Scott?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Well, it sounds like they listened to the interview and they decided to react. In other words, they providing us with evidence that what we said was correct.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind because I am always looking at that timestamp. Because I always, when I watch the video portions that I'm looking for as far as the dates, I run the video through according to the dates that I've put in, and I pay attention to the dates and the timestamp, because that's the only way that you're going to see if there is deleted footage. And
that's right.
Immediately started watching it, and I'm like, wait a minute, how can that go from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock? Where's all the time in the middle? And then I noticed it went from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, 6 to 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I'm like, oh, whoa. Then I backed all the way up and I said, wait a minute here. And then bingo, it was, they're going into 2-hour increments. Now, that's not what they're watching.
No.
Yeah, so they're only, and they think we're stupid that we're not going to notice that. Well, I noticed it immediately. And when I was looking at this, now in these images right here, that object does not show up. And I'm just going to pan over here. It's a little blurry, but you can see Jupiter here, but that object is not there.
Yeah, you see, it wouldn't show up all the time, I don't think, because it's enveloped in a cloud. It looks like it, and the cloud just hides in the background, I think. It's only when it ejects something that we actually see these objects, when they have plasma ejections. So when they don't have them, I guess we wouldn't see them. Maybe that's why they're giving us images every 2 hours, so that we miss the ejections. You see that vertical black line?
Right here?
The image? Yeah, well, I've looked at that for some months now, and I believe there's a brown dwarf star down somewhere, and it's ejecting upwards, right up along the image. So that line is actually Yeah, that's an ejection from one of these objects that's below the ecliptic, I think.
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And it's
Yeah,
a
because I
long one.
noticed.
It goes right across the image.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed this
Mhm.
also, and it is, you know, it is a little blurry, but that's
Yeah.
because of the way the imaging on this SREM works.
Mhm.
It's not like
Yes.
a normal camera, and
Mhm.
it does make seeing some of these images very hard. But when you are looking at these, if you do know what you're looking for, and your eyes are trained like mine are, you can pick these objects out, you know, at a snap of the finger.
Yes.
And that's how I caught that object today. And I knew the minute that I saw that object, you know, I said to myself, wow, look at that. You know, I mean, I was ready to jump up and down. I don't know what I was so happy about, because having something like that within our solar system, well, you know, it's not a good thing, but, you know, after searching for something for 14 years, all of a
Yeah.
sudden, you know, you may have actually caught this thing. You may have the only evidence, the only true pictures of this object. And that's what I think I got so excited.
Scott, before you do anything, to the left of the black line, there's a round outline.
Right there.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, I noticed
there.
that also. Now, that is the object. That's the round outline that was in the previous photograph that Jupiter was right in front of. Right there.
Uh-huh. So that looks like this, like an object, definitely.
Yeah, and you know what I
And
would
they
do?
probably,
Go ahead.
yeah. Now they probably use lighting to hide these objects. I've often thought there's lots more in these images that is hidden by, maybe they do some color manipulation, shading manipulation of the images to hide these objects. But it definitely looks like there's that's a large object there, very large. So it looks like there's something there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the right filter. Now, these blue ones, these blue filters do bring it out. Now, it brings out the object that you were just talking about.
Yeah.
It brings it out very, very well right over here. But this big round object, you know what? I'm actually going to... I'm actually going to save a copy of that.
Okay.
You know, there's big military,
look at that.
there's big military jets flying over my house.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and there's no military installation anywhere around here, and the nearest airport is 65 miles away. And these are big, gigantic, big transport planes. Like, they're bigger than a 747, and they're only flying about 2,000 feet above the ground.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're probably trying to bomb me or something.
I hope not.
They're like, Scott and the doctor, they're on to us. They're on to us.
Yeah.
Bomb them.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think they like what we have to say. I mean, if NASA reacted to what we said yesterday, now that's interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting that, you know, they would probably, send a signal up there and, well, no, they wouldn't have to send a signal. They would just change what is available on the internet.
That's right, because they get a continuous feed. Just we get images at certain time intervals, and they choose at what interval we get them.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
still very interesting.
I'm going to pull up another one of these images and see, there's that anomaly again at the top.
Yeah, it looks very strange. I'm not sure what it is, but there's something there for sure. Look at that. Strange.
Yeah, no, I did see a spherical object.
There. Oh, yes, I can see the shading.
Yeah, right there. But this comes into view for a few frames, and then because of the distance between the frames, it looks like it pops in and then pops out because of the way that they have the framing timing set up.
Yeah, well, it may be an ejection from that object you just pointed out.
Yeah, because you could see it. I'm going to change this to that blue filter just to see if we could bring out any more detail in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're good at covering that up.
Oh, yes.
Now, see, that object that we were looking at, it's not there in these early
yeah,
frames.
it's not there. You're right.
Just
there is something round there.
Yeah, right there. Now, it's possible.
No, I meant up next to Venus. There is a lighter but round object there.
Where my cursor is?
No, below that. Below that. No, it's light blue now, but it's right next to the bulge, Venus's bulge, white bulge, right next to it.
Right here.
Okay, there. That's it. It looks round.
Oh my!
It could be the same object. It's about the same size. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's just not emitting protons, which would give it the black shading. Oh yes, that looks good. You see, we can see it now. Yeah.
Yeah, they're masking a lot of objects in this.
They are.
I just this whole mess up here.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it is, but it kind of looked three-dimensional in the actual video itself.
Yes.
Now what I can do?
Yeah. Well.
What I can do real quick is let me go ahead and jump out of here. I'm just going to stop the screen share for a minute, and
okay.
I am going to pull the video portion of this up because the video that I captured today was pretty intense.
Okay. Yes, I think it'll be interesting to look at that.
Now let's just get this over to here, here, and here.
Uh-huh. Look at that.
There it is.
I can see the... Ah, yes.
You see how it just pops in?
Yes. It's a pity they're only giving us 2 hours because we would need to look at that.
Yep. Every 2
Yeah,
hours.
but it's definitely something. It's definitely something. There's an object there.
Yeah, there's no doubt
I can
about
see
it.
that.
You know what? We might be able to. We might be able to. Oh, what am I doing? Might be able to change. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. That looks interesting.
Yeah, see this.
Wow.
Yeah, this program for even the video is much different than my my video making program. The program I use to make my videos is much more sophisticated than the program on my computer. What I'm going to do though, I'm just sharpening some of this to see if.
Yes. Well, I find it very how clearly we could see those triangular wavefronts.
Yeah.
I have never thought that a star could even emit something like this. Obviously, it's got to be a star emitting triangular kind of wavefronts. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, see, they make it so you can't. Yeah, no matter what you do, you're not really.
You cannot.
Yeah, you're really not able to manipulate this on a basic program like this. But I was able to. Let's see what we got in advance here. Well, that definitely doesn't help, does it?
But it looked pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much I could do. There's not much I could do on this live stream like this with these objects.
But it just goes to show that they are definitely trying to hide things from us, Scott. And that's what they're all about. They want to give us just a little bit of information because they have to, but yet hide the truth from us. Because the truth is amazing. It's unbelievable that these objects are close to the sun. And it's like a huge conspiracy that no one will believe because it's just so wild. But yet we have evidence that these objects are there.
Yep, there's no doubt about that. Now I'm going to put another video, and this is the other side. This is not the SREM.
Yeah, those are SREM.
Oh, SREM.
Look at that.
Yeah, this is the H1. I'm sorry.
We've just seen the 3 ejections. Venus is ejecting.
Yeah, see, remember I was telling you earlier how I saw the other ejection on the bottom right over here?
Yeah, there's an ejection there on the right edge. And well, that was Jupiter, I think, that went off. But before we see, there's another one there at the bottom. Is that the one you meant?
Yes, that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
We see the big ejection from the sun, that big coronal mass ejection. It was just a flash. Oh, and I got something to show you. Oh, my. I think we may have evidence of the sun going dark. And this just happened. This just happened the other day, a few days ago, and the imaging goes so fast. And again, they backed everything off to 2-hour increments. But they didn't know that this guy behind this microphone was just a tad smarter than they are, and I caught it. So we're going to be looking at that imaging in a few minutes.
Okay.
But, yeah, you can see this massive ejection now. That is, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to back that up just
and look at the sun. It's obviously reacting to these objects.
I'm just backing it up so we could take a good look.
Yeah, that's definitely what I call a jet-like plasma ejection. That's the kind of ejection these brown dwarfs have when they start ejecting from their surface and they blow a hole through their cloud of ionized gas. If they're completely enveloped in it, that's just the kind of ejection that you would expect.
Yeah, that was a violent coronal mass ejection. I actually have it on several other cameras as it was happening. But you can see, what was supposed to be Jupiter is up here where my cursor is.
Yeah. And
you can see that ejection coming out, but that's not coming from Jupiter. And then another one appears right below. And that caught my eye immediately whenever I saw the ejection on the bottom right there.
Yeah. So it could be it's 2 brown dwarfs, or it could be one large one ejecting from 2 different positions. But the distances are quite large, so maybe it's actually 2. They do move around as binaries, I think.
Yeah, that's just amazing. I'm going to pull up this this imaging here, and then I got some real good close-up video that I recorded of this event.
Okay.
It's running a little slow, so. Yeah, this still amazes me to see this object like that.
Yeah, these are very interesting. Okay,
now
this
is the object. Yeah, this is the H1.
Okay.
Now I played this very, very slowly, 2 frames per second. And the reason why I did this is this was actually going in reverse because I wanted to capture that that coronal mass ejection from the sun. So I was actually going step by step, stepping the frames backwards because I wanted to capture it, and then I caught this flaring up here where we
Yes,
there it is. Did you see the sun go dark?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, wait till you see it on the. I got the video on that, but wait till you see it. Look at that. It goes freaking dark. Look at that.
It does. Wow.
And you have to remember something. That is 2 hours. Between those frames. 2 hours that the sun went dark.
Definitely.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about it, because I mean you could see it with your own eyes. But when you watch the video as it plays in real time, you can't see it. It doesn't appear.
Okay.
You have
But
to take
it's strange that there was still light on the left-hand side of the image. And so that shows you that there are sources of light there. These other stars are emitting light, you see. Even when the sun stops, we still have light in the solar system from the other stars.
Yeah, that's just amazing. That is just... I'm going to try to stop that.
Yeah, we often see the sun looks like it's emitting dark light. And what I think that is part of the sun is very dark. And then there's no light coming on from that section of the sun.
Yeah, I want to try to stop it. I want to try to stop it right at that point.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Wow. It just goes dark. Amazing.
Now I'm trying to bring it to the point where...
There's also a black cloud between Venus and Mercury. I mean, a darker cloud. It moves from to the right of Mercury to between Venus and Mercury. And there may be something there as well.
I can't seem to capture that right where I want it.
Okay.
There it goes.
Well,
there we go.
Oh, yes. Look at that. Amazing.
Now, I mean, I don't, I mean, this kind of captured me by surprise also, because, I mean...
I mean, it looks like the sun is gone.
Yeah.
And yet the planets are still reflecting light, it seems. So where do they get their light from? So there are other sources of light there.
Yeah, that was just absolutely... Whenever I saw this, and I didn't see this as I was playing the video. And you could also see right up here between where we thought the ejection was coming from, what was supposed to be Jupiter. You can see in this frame this plasma ejection coming from whatever is there, but the whole entire space goes dark.
Yeah, it does.
And this was, I believe this was right after that massive coronal mass ejection. Because I have video of that I recorded early this morning, and that was a huge, violent CME.
Yeah, when the sun does that, it's because there's an object in its proximity, to the sun, that's irritating it, making it go a bit unstable, and then it explodes with these massive explosions.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull that up also. We just bump back.
I first saw it in 2007 that it was doing that already. When the brown dwarf went by it, I think Chris has just read a paper I wrote on that.
I'm just looking.
So what it was doing then is still doing now.
Yeah, I'm going to pull the video up that I have of the coronal mass ejection, and boy, this was violent. This was a massive ejection. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. And here it goes.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow. That's amazing. That was huge.
Yeah, this is in full speed. This is the regular speed that it goes.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that was on April 2nd. That massive ejection. It seemed that when the sun went dark like that, it was on the 31st.
Okay. Yeah, I will look at those images myself.
Yeah, I would go back to the 28th of March through the present day, as far as you can get into the present. But this was just absolutely massive. This coronal mass ejection. I also caught it on the LASCO also. I think this is yeah. This was the other view of it.
Wow, look at that.
And it just keeps on spewing.
Yes. And you see how small the sun is compared with that.
Oh, yes.
That little white circle is the sun.
Yes.
It's tiny compared with that huge ejection. Well, it's a CME. It's a good thing it wasn't towards the Earth.
Yeah, that would have been disastrous if we were in the line of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up this other piece of video. This goes back to the Soho image.
Wow, I've never seen the sun looking that active. I mean, I haven't seen it in a long time. Sure. Wow.
I mean, that was a massive discharge. I mean, I've seen them before. You know, I've seen them before like that, but
sure.
I could only imagine how much of the sun's surface was blown away in this.
That's right.
And then you can see all of this flaring to the left, how it just expands, and now it's just flowing. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a good example of how these solar winds are ejected.
Did you see that, Scott?
What was it?
The whole of the southern part of the sun started glowing outside of the occulter.
To the lower right?
Yeah, to the lower left. Lower left and left. It just one of the frames showed that. I've seen that kind of thing before, where it's like the sun grows in size suddenly.
Oh my!
Some kind of the sun gets very unstable sometimes. That's what I think.
Okay, it's playing. It's looping back again. So when you see it, just tell me to stop.
Okay. Those are very bright. Quite intense.
Did we miss it?
Okay. No, I don't think so.
Okay, it's looping back.
I don't know. I didn't see it this time.
Yeah, that's weird because it's looping back again.
Yeah. It only showed up that one time. But I think if you actually look at the image, one by one will capture it. Yeah, the sun definitely looks more active than usual.
Well, that's weird because this is the same looping video.
Yeah, show all the images. In the footage skips some frames, I think, and some frames only appear now and then. What was that? There was like a flash.
I'm right there.
Yeah, a huge flash, but it wasn't from the sun.
Yeah, that's weird how it just won't. Right there.
There. Do you see that?
Oh my God.
Do you see this?
Wow, I was lucky to capture that.
Wow. That is not normal. The sun just increased to 3 times its size suddenly. Another star behind it. Or in front of it. Oh my goodness, it could be a star in front of the sun. And it's huge. Well, it could be that it's closer to the camera than the sun. Look at the pointy thing.
Yeah, right here.
We've seen objects like that look pointy like that.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I was very lucky to capture this frame right where we stopped. Yeah,
that's a very bright star.
That's so scary. That's very scary to see the sun reacting in this way.
Yeah, it is. I think it may not be the sun because the occulter you see is with the camera. And if a bright star passes between the sun and the camera, that could be it. That could be that star passing between the sun and the camera.
Now, do you think that might have been the possibility for the darkness that we saw on the?
It's possible.
The Secchi, almost like an eclipse.
Yeah, in fact, what you see there is you see the very bright outline, and then you see the yellow around it, and then you see some red, which is all light possibly coming from the subject, and then above that it's black. The only way that can be black is if the sun stopped emitting.
Wow. No wonder they went to 2-hour increments on this.
Yeah. It could be there's something really big to hide.
Yeah, they went to 2-hour increments on everything. And before, it was 12 minutes. Every 12 minutes.
Yeah. They're definitely trying to hide something very big here. And that looks extremely interesting. It looks like a star passing between the sun and the camera to me.
I actually just took a screenshot of that because that's amazing. I don't even know. I mean, the possibilities of that being a camera anomaly, a malfunction, a glitch. I'm so sick of hearing the word glitch. You know, yeah. I mean, you got hundreds of millions of dollars in satellite equipment up there with sophisticated camera systems and technology, and that's the best that you could come up with. That's a glitch.
Yeah, that's the excuse.
Yeah, what the hell are we paying you for? Why are you using my tax dollars to put faulty equipment into space?
That's right.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. Yeah. But that's...
no, that looks like a definite effect, a real effect, an object passing by. And that's maybe why the sun was going so crazy. It was reacting to this object.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. We're going to take a look at... Now, I pulled this up.
Yeah.
And I zoomed in on this because this is what we were looking at earlier yesterday. We were talking about the black shaded area behind. Now look, bingo, it went black.
Yes, it did.
Now I slowed this down. I slowed this down enough for us to capture the darkness rolling in to the footage.
Okay.
And then you could see this black object right behind the Earth, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Something else I wanted to point out. Never have I seen these Birkeland current lines running through the planets. I've never seen them turn orange and yellow.
That's true. Yeah, they're using something different there.
I mean, could this possibly be some type of an electrical
No, it's
interference?
not, Scott.
No?
What it could be is that they just use different colors and different shades. They're trying to hide maybe the fact that there's more than one line somewhere. You see that black line there?
That's what I was going to say. Now, this Birkeland current line, what in the hell is it attached to? Because here it's orange. It starts out orange.
Yeah, and then maybe
what's it attached to?
It's very strange. Yeah, because you see, there was an object there which got painted over or something. That's probably what happened. Look at that huge, oh my goodness, you see the sun just went dark.
Yeah.
And then there was a plasma ejection from the right. Amazing.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's a lot of funny business going on out there in our inner solar system. I mean, I could only imagine being a fly on the wall, you know, in the rooms of NASA and the JPL and the European Space Agency and all these fools out there trying to deceive us. But you know what? You're going to have to wake up a little bit earlier in the morning to get this crap past us.
Right.
Because there is absolutely no doubt in my mind. I don't care what anybody says. That whole entire screen goes black for 2 hours because this is in 2-hour increments. That was black.
Look at that.
Yes, it was blacked out for 2 damn hours, and then you have the ejection coming from the right side of the screen, which Jupiter is over there, but we've also identified that other massive object over there that was being hidden in the SREM images.
Yes.
And I'll bet you 10 to 1 that damn ejection came from that object.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this
there has to be an object there.
Yeah, I'm starting to get real fired up there, Doc. This is getting
wow, look at that.
Yeah,
it's amazing to see it going black.
Yeah, we're going to pull this one up. Now, I zoomed out on this because I wanted to show the sun off to the left. And as this plays through slowly, once again, you'll see it go dark.
Yeah, I already saw it twice.
Now, this is during the right after the coronal mass ejection, right after the CME goes off. This is when it goes dark.
Okay.
So it's almost like somebody blew the sun's light out.
Yeah. Well, it first reacted in one way, and then it reacted in the opposite way. That shows it's unstable because of these objects. Wow! Look at that.
Now that is right after the CME burst, and then for 2 hours, it was dark.
And yet there's light on the right side of the image, and for light to be there, okay, it's fainter than usual. There have to be stars there that are emitting light. You see that?
Yep.
Because if there were no stars, everything would be black. The planets wouldn't have any light to reflect either.
Yeah, it would just, everything would go black.
Everything would go black.
Is there a possibility that maybe the camera or the sensors were overwhelmed by that, but for 2 hours?
No, I don't think so, because we see background stars. So the camera is not overwhelmed. It's picking up the background stars. It's picking up light from the right-hand side of the image. It's still picking up that jet-like plasma ejection from the right. And it's still picking up light from the planets. All that's gone is the light emitted by the sun. That's gone. And the planets were not as bright when the sun was gone.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but they were not as bright.
Yes.
So
we're going to bring up this one here. And this is just a little closer. This is a little bit faster. I increased the speed just a little bit so you could see the flash, the 2 hours. And I want you to notice something over to the right-hand side where that plasma jet comes from. And I'm going to try to stop it over there because I noticed something over there that it actually looks like the plasma jet coming out of there doesn't have anything attached to it. And I'm going to stop it right at the point. It's like it appears out of nowhere, but see?
Yes.
There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there.
It could be that there is something there, but it's not emitting visible light. And that's what you'd expect if there's a brown dwarf enveloped in a cloud, and then it ejects towards the sun.
Now, also,
from inside the cloud.
Now, this imaging from this camera would definitely not pick that object up.
That's right. This is visible light image.
So basically, this looks like some type of energy ejection, plasma ejection, whatever you want to call it. It just cannot transform itself out of thin air.
No.
But yet, when you're looking at it, there's nothing connected to it.
That's right. So, yeah, we cannot have an ejection materializing out of thin air. It's got to come off an object that produces plasma. There you are.
Look at this.
Wow, it goes
This just proves my point even more. This is when the sun goes dark, or this dark area just, comes over the whole entire screen. Look at how bright Venus is. You can see the red glow of every planet: Mercury, Earth, Venus. And we go over here to the right-hand side to where this plasma ejection was. But where in the hell is it emanating from? Because it's not showing us in this screen. So therefore, whatever that object is to the right side is not going to appear in these images because of the type of camera that is being used on this craft.
That's right.
Wow. So it just appears out of thin air.
Yeah, well, the plasma ejections tell us that the object is there, even if we don't see the object. So it's the telltale sign, I would guess.
So I skipped
that tells us there's an object there.
Yes.
Okay.
I skipped one frame. Now the sunlight is back. It's 2 hours later, and this stream is still there.
Yes.
It's still there.
It's like the jet ejections from the sun. It always stays there for a long time. Sometimes for months. The sun ejects from the same position in the corona. So this object's basically doing the same thing, maybe for not as long as the sun, but it's got its own jet-like ejections.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt.
It's definitely a star.
Now this is just the full screen, and we have the date and we have the time. This, like I said, I started going backwards in this to the beginning, and then it will go forward.
Yeah.
I just think today's discovery on what I found, it's still blowing me away that object in those FREM images. I'm probably going to dream about it all night.
Yeah, probably. It's very, very interesting that you found that object.
Yeah.
It just goes to show, I mean, if we were examining these images very, very closely, we'd probably find a lot more. It seems that the inner solar system is full of strange objects. I find that cloud there between Venus and Mercury strange as well. I mean, the dark, yeah. Yeah,
there's absolutely no doubt at all. No doubt at all. I just wanted to see these images again.
Yes.
And there she is.
Uh-huh. Wow.
I mean, it's in the position. It is exactly in the position where those plasma ejections are coming from.
Uh-huh.
And then this big object, this just amazes me. Whatever the hell this is.
Yes. Well, it's huge, and it's obviously behind Jupiter. That's what it looks like. I mean, I'm not sure that's even Jupiter, but it could be something else. It could be a planet that belongs to that particular star. And so that's why it appears in front of it like that.
Yeah, I mean,
but it has to be.
I did think that the possibilities of this being a planet, not a star, or the brown dwarf.
Yeah.
But then I started thinking, okay, well, if this was a planet, then there would be a Birkeland current line going through it. It would be illuminated like the other planets in the photograph, and it's like it's hidden in the shadows, so you really can't see it. It's not emitting or reflecting any light, so I automatically thought, okay, damn, that has got to be the brown dwarf, or at least one of them, because in the close proximity to Earth, Venus, and what we think is Jupiter, that object, if it was a planet, would have to be, you know, showing some type of light emission, something other than being this dark mass just sitting there.
Yes. Mm.
I better stop drinking these Red Bulls.
Yeah, I mean, if it's behind Jupiter and it's at least 5 times larger than Jupiter, I mean, how would we have a planet that's 5 times larger than Jupiter? Don't forget that the sun is, of course, larger than Jupiter. This would mean, I think Jupiter is 1/10 the size of the sun. Yes, it's 1/10. So this object would be the size of the sun. So it definitely has to be a star.
Yeah, it's pretty massive. I'm going to go ahead and move over here real quick, and I am going to do something real quick. It just amazes me. I'm going to jump over and I'm going to pull up the one site that I do use for changing the exposure of some of these objects, and it allows me to adjust it allows me to invert it, and then also to adjust the gamma. I wish that I could do it with video, but the site doesn't accept video to do these adjustments, only photographs, but it works very, very well. So I'm actually going to take a look, and I'm going to adjust this gamma just a little bit on another photograph. I'm just going to increase it just a little bit. Because it seems like it's just a little too dark for the video.
Yes.
Then it allows me to zoom in and pan around. Yeah, see it? Yeah, whenever I was using this program earlier to adjust this, this is how I found it. I'm actually doing it right now in the background.
Okay.
Yeah, see, the darker you make it, the more detailed it actually comes out. And now you can see it.
Yes.
Yeah, now let me just try one more thing. I just had to save that one. And I was going to see what it would be like changing the contrast in these photographs, but there's so much work to do on them, and it takes hours to execute each and every photograph. Yeah. Let me see something here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a pretty good website that I found to do all of this. It has a lot of options. Yeah, it's going to take me hours and hours to go through all of this. But yeah, I was just absolutely amazed. I was very, very excited to get these photographs, in your hands and get your observations on these. Because I honestly think, in my mind right now, from the information that I've seen, the photographs that I've seen, the video that I've seen, these last couple of days, from about the 28th,
Yes.
from the 28th of March through the 2nd of April, these couple of days, a lot happened.
Mm-hmm.
Then if we go back, to the magnetopause and magnetosphere collapse on the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what, 2 weeks, a little more than 2 weeks went by, and bingo.
That's true.
So we have these events occurring, and you know, it's just my personal opinion. I think these objects are getting closer and closer.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're closing in on the sun, and they are creating some very, very serious situations with our sun. And one thing that I did want to take a look at while you're here,
yes,
and I have your professional opinion.
Yeah, but I definitely agree with you. The sun is looking dark. The coronal holes are getting larger. It's obviously seems to getting weaker. So, I mean, it's still having explosions, but that's when it becomes unstable because these objects are so close to it. And yeah, there we are. Oh my, our poor sun.
Look at that thing. Almost the whole entire middle, middle of the sun it's dissipating. It's disappearing. The corona is just almost gone in the middle.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if you look at the top, of the sun, that massive coronal hole was actually covered last week. Now it's opening. It's opening, stretching all the way down through here. This area is all lightened up. Look how it's extending into the southern part of the sun.
Yes. Well, we have basically a permanent coronal hole at the southern hemisphere, at the south pole of the sun. So, yeah, it's looking very sad. It's obviously still trying to do its job. It's got some sunspots now, doing some explosions, some explosive CMEs, and it's still got some energy.
Oh yeah.
But there's lots of objects closing in on it and draining it. So it's obviously gotten weaker. We can see even, I'm going to write something on that, looking at what the sun looks like now to what it looked like last month and the month before. I'm sure that would be interesting to compare. Because I think it's getting weaker fast.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. Now this is what I want everyone to pay attention to. As the sun's rotating to from the left to the right in our view, look how beautiful the corona is over here. You can't see any sunspot, or you can't see any breaks, no coronal holes developing, but we don't know what's on the other side because we can't see it.
That's right.
They have those cameras turned off to the public. But it's awful funny how this view we see. So every time the sun turns towards us, we're seeing these coronal holes developing and opening up.
Yeah.
That just looks awful. I mean, all these years, you know, looking at this is bad. This is just bad.
That it is very bad. I would say about 40% of the surface that we see is now covered in, 30 to 40% is covered in coronal holes, and that's a lot. That's a lot. But the sun, even when there is no coronal holes, it's not as bright as it used to be. So it's almost like the whole surface is developing coronal hole, except for the sunspot regions. You see the areas around it where we see the magenta color, they're still darker, a lot darker than they used to be.
Exactly. That's the point that I was trying to make. It's disappearing right before your eyes. It's dissipating. It's gone slowly. Yeah. I mean, if we actually had, you know, more of a, you know, instead of a 48-hour loop on this model, you could literally just see it disappearing right in front of your eyes. And like I said, you can see over here to the left, How beautifully formed it is. No openings, nothing.
Yes.
It's crisp, it's clean, and as soon as it moves into our view, this is what we're looking at. Garbage. It's destroying the sun. I mean, this bottom region, oh my God.
Yeah. Yes.
And it just looks like plastic bubbling and burning and melting, and it's just melting away, disappearing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, interesting to watch over the next 5 days what is going to occur. Because with all of these openings now in this whole massive region facing us, God only knows what's actually going to happen as far as solar winds, what's going to happen with the magnetosphere. Are we going to see another collapse? There are earthquakes right now popping all over the world, and the earthquakes are actually getting worse.
They are, and there was that earthquake in Botswana.
Yes.
Now, Africa hardly ever gets earthquakes, Scott. And I've thought about this for a few years now, been thinking about these earthquakes that have been increasing. I've known about that. And I kept thinking, well, if they keep on increasing, the sign that they have gone to another level is when Africa starts to get earthquakes. Because when Africa starts to get earthquakes, it means the whole planet is being shaken at another level.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little disturbed whenever that earthquake erupted in Botswana, and after looking at the actual seismic device channels and seeing that 7.8, then they downgraded it to a 6.5. I don't care if they're taking averages from all of the devices that report their activity. The bottom line is that's 7.8. Listen, I got emails. I got emails from subscribers that live in Johannesburg and that actually lived a little bit closer to Botswana. And they were actually panicked because they felt it. And it was very, very startling for them because, if you're not used to feeling earthquakes and then all of a sudden you have an earthquake at a 6.5 or a 7.5 ringing through your homeland, you're wondering what the hell is going on.
That's right.
And if you're not paying attention to any of this information that we're trying to get out there, you're wondering, oh my God, what is happening?
Yeah.
So there's been a couple of bigger earthquakes. There's been a couple of big earthquakes over the last 24 hours, and I'm going to have to go back into all of the earthquake activity around the globe within the next few hours and check things out. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, as you can see, me and the doctor, we're analyzing what we're seeing. And what you're seeing here is you're seeing your son go to sleep and come to life, go to sleep and come to life. And you're seeing damage to the sun. I don't think this is permanent damage, but I mean, that's the word that I'm going to use, because when these coronal holes open up, it's just like you falling down, scraping your elbow, and opening up a wound. And what flows? Blood. Well, whenever the sun gets scraped and opens up, what flows is the solar wind and all of those charged particles heading through space and impacting our planet. And this has been something that has been occurring nonstop. It is time to wake up and realize that, yes, we are in jeopardy. We are in danger. I feel that we are in danger because at any given time, any of these sunspots that we see now, we hardly saw any sunspots. Now, all of a sudden, we had a sunspot open up, and it's 120,000 kilometers long, and boom, we have this massive coronal ejection, and thank God, only by the grace of God, that it wasn't pointed directly to the Earth. And then, I wanted to mention to you, Doctor, I had one of these trolls say to me that the only reason why we had this collapse in the magnetosphere was because we had a G5 solar flare. Now, I mean, do you know enough about that? Would a G5, would a solar flare collapse the magnetosphere?
Only if the magnetosphere is being affected by something else. A G5, it's not that strong.
Yeah, maybe he made a mistake in his G rating, but you know, I've never heard of that before.
No.
Because if all the solar flares throughout a long period of time in humanity, if you know every solar flare that erupted and came from the sun, well, the magnetosphere would be collapsing all the time.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think it should be collapsed. I think that the magnetosphere, as we talked about last time, is under threat from other objects that are coming close to the Earth.
Yep,
and are getting in behind the Earth, perhaps, and they are affecting it. I think that's what's going on, Scott. It's not just the sun. It's not the sun. It's not just the sun.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you what. This whole day, you know, it turns from, you know, excitement looking at this information, but whenever I come back to reality and I start to fully understand what I'm looking at, you know, my excitement is going away, you know, after seeing the object on the SREM. But now I'm going to be quite honest with you and everybody else. You know, I don't know, the fear is setting in with me a little bit because I know exactly what's happening. You know, and it makes me wonder, you know, what can we do? Well, we can't do anything. But the only thing that we really can do is, like I've been saying, make sure that you're prepared. Make sure that you have all of your preparations, food, water, medical supplies, an evacuation plan. If you live in a volcanic activity area, earthquake activity area, I don't care where you live. With the situations that are occurring around the globe right now, if you don't have yourself some type of preparedness plan, then ladies and gentlemen, you better snap to it and get it done. Go to the store, pick yourself up one of those big, gigantic plastic bins. Make sure it's something you can fit in your trunk. Food, water, medical supplies, change of clothes, maybe a blanket, protection, whatever you feel you need to put in that bug out bin is what I like to call it. You don't want to be running around your house trying to find something with all kinds of, you know, craziness going on around you. We all saw what happened in Oroville when they tried to evacuate almost 200,000 people. Highways are jammed, people running around, people trying to take advantage of the situation, trying to take advantage of people. You don't want to be caught with your pants down. So boys and girls, it's time to put those big girl panties on and get yourself prepared, because I think that as we move further and further into the planetary alignment with Venus, Jupiter, the Earth, and as we keep moving closer and closer into the late spring, getting into the month of May, that's all I have to say. I think we're going to be in for some very, very serious Earth activity. And ladies and gentlemen, we are already seeing it. I mentioned weeks and weeks ago that whenever we start moving into the middle of March, March 16th, that this was going to start happening. Things were going to start flaring up from that point on. And look what is happening now. There are all kinds of crazy things going on around the world. Things not related to just weather and what's happening in our inner solar system. There are just plain weird things happening all over the world. Keep your eyes and your ears open. Start talking to your friends and your family members. Whenever you see the videos that I'm producing and what Chris Potter's producing and BP Earthwatch, Mike from around the world, listen to Pastor Paul Begley, listen to these people. Set the notifications for these channels, including both of my channels, because ladies and gentlemen, we try to stay on top of this situation. Believe me. And right now, YouTube is going through some major changes. Within the last 48 hours, I wrote a very long letter and I emailed it directly to several different departments at YouTube. And believe it or not, usually you just get a form letter back from YouTube. But I actually received 3 letters returned in my email, and you can tell that they were written by someone who actually sat at a keyboard and punched those keys, because they used my name throughout the email. And they said right now they're going through a lot of adjustments at YouTube, and this may upset channels with their views and their subscriber counts and things of that nature, because I was a little upset. I'm wondering, wait a minute here. You know, I have people emailing me telling me that they had to subscribe to my YouTube channels 3 or 4 times. So there is something happening internally at YouTube right now. The you know, the emails that were sent were very apologetic. They said their technicians are working on things. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's kick it into high gear, YouTube, because right now this is our only form of communications with our subscribers and with everybody around the world. Let's rock and roll, man, because I definitely feel as the days and the weeks go on, things are really going to start heating up around the world, and we need to stay in tune and in touch. Knowledge is power. That's what I say. Well, doctor, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I know you got to get some sleep. You have a busy day tomorrow, just like I'll probably be up for the next 24 hours staring at those pictures.
They are very interesting, Scott.
Yeah, I really appreciate you helping out. I know it's a little bit of a risky endeavor for you and your career, and I know nobody wants to help you either. You know.
Yes, that's for sure.
You know, there's a lot.
But
of
I'm
people,
interested in the truth.
Yes, me too. And I know there's a lot of people out there that they just don't want to help. They just want to deceive you, and there's absolutely no doubt about it. I mean, I have my issues with the trolling campaigns that are put against my channel and others on YouTube that, you know, deal in the similar subject. And all they want to do is they just want to go on the attack. They just want to attack. But what I found out is whenever you go back and you attack them, man, they cry like little bitches. They cry so bad. Why are you doing this? Why are you attacking me? Why are you saying this? Well, you know what? You know why we're attacking you? Because you deserve it. Because you people come after us. You should put your nose in your own damn business and stay out of our business. Bottom line. You stay on your side of the street and we'll stay on our side of the street. You cross the line, well, you're going to get hammered. That's all I have to say. Doc, stay on the line with me here for just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and end our broadcast. Listen, everybody. Make sure that you stay subscribed. Share these videos on Twitter. Share them on YouTube or Facebook. Share them everywhere. I don't care if you have to go out and buy a billboard and start posting what's happening on this globe. This is our planet. We need to do what we need to do. Make sure you are prepared. This is Scott from Planet X News. Thank all of you for watching, and stay tuned. Hello, everybody. This is Scott from Planet X News. I am here with our physicist live on the Planet X News YouTube channel. And we have some breaking news and a breaking discovery on some images that I was able to capture on one of the NASA cameras out there in outer space. It's actually called the SREM, S-R-E-M imaging. And I did a short video on this a few hours ago. I'm actually quite excited about the information that I found, and our doctor of physics is here with us, and we are going to examine some of these photographs, but there will probably be some further study on these photographs and understanding the way that these images are taken. This is just not a regular camera. It doesn't see things that, you know, a normal camera would see. There's a complete definition on how the SREM works, and I should have actually brought that information up, but I'm actually too excited about these images. So, Doctor, how are you this afternoon?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you, Scott. Yes, I'm very well, thank you. And you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm very, very excited. I have like 3 Red Bulls in me. I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. I am ready to rock and roll. And it was like God woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and he said, get your ass over to your computer right now and pull up these Secchi images. Go to this date that was just about a week ago. And that was about a week ago that we were seeing that that flaring coming from what we thought was Jupiter, what NASA had labeled as Jupiter, and then boom, there you go. And I saw it. I saw it. You know, so I did a short video, about it, and I worked for probably about 10 hours on those images. you could, excuse me, you can clearly see that NASA was trying to cover it up, trying to hide it. So I'm going to put one of these pictures up on the screen right now, and I want you to give us your opinion on what I discovered.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm so fidgety right now because of what I found. You know, I've been at this now. I've been at this now for 14 years. 14 years I've been trying to find this damn thing.
Okay, so let's look at that.
So this is the object that we're talking about right here.
Yeah.
Now, am I correct that this is Venus right here, and this is Jupiter?
Well, you know, as you know, that's how they label them, but they often act like they are not actually planets. So it could be they either are the planets, but there are other objects behind them that they are hiding, and these objects are the brown dwarf stars that are ejecting plasma. Or it could be that sometimes they may cover up the actual planet and then label the larger object that's there that's doing all kinds of strange things. They label it as a planet. So they obviously are trying to hide these things, yes.
I was so excited. Okay. I was so excited whenever I caught a glimpse of this out of the corner of my eye, because I noticed that the light gray background that they usually have, and you know, it's kind of ripply, kind of distorted because of the imaging, and out of the corner of my eye, when I was running the video and the dates, I saw it. It came through so fast, and then I went back to the beginning, and I immediately recorded the information into my computer, so they didn't delete it. And sure enough, there it was. And I'll be quite honest with you, I actually started shaking whenever I saw it. Wow. I mean, there is no doubt. I've been looking at these images. Oh my. So long, so many years I've been looking at them, and it's only now that I could actually physically with my own eyeballs look at something that is there that should not be there.
Yeah.
What did you think whenever you saw the short video that I posted?
I thought, wow, look at that. That object definitely has a very round outline. At least the hemisphere on the left-hand side is very round. That's definitely not just a background object. It looks like there's a real object there. So half of it is black, and the other side, the other hemisphere, you can sort of get it, you see it faintly. So it's obviously dark on one side, and there's emission on the other, because these are particles. Yeah. The black always means protons. So, you know, that side would be emitting protons, the black side. Yeah, it looks extremely interesting. It definitely doesn't look normal. And it doesn't look like the rest of the background that's very squiggly, as you say.
Yeah, I'm trying to lighten it up for everyone.
Yeah.
So they could see it a little more clearly in the live stream. And ladies and gentlemen, the object that we are looking at is right here. If you follow my cursor, the object is right here. We are looking at possibly Venus here, or excuse me, I keep mixing Venus and Jupiter up. Too many Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Jupiter right here, Venus, and this is Earth right over in here, and it's almost out of the field of view of the camera. I'm just making sure. Okay, yeah, everybody could see that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something else on these images, and that is the triangular wave fronts.
Yeah, I noticed that also. At the back,
these triangular wave fronts are emissions from one of these objects, and it must be quite large. I've seen these before, and now that you lighten the image, they're very obvious. So there's something there and they cannot come from the sun. The sun does not cause this kind of wave front. So this is an object that's pulsing, okay, and sending out these wave fronts of energy. And I've seen it before, so there's obviously an object there. I don't think it's that little one, because these pulses look huge, so it must be something larger.
Yeah, I noticed
but
those
these
also.
pulses mean,
I noticed those also. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know exactly what they were. I could see that they were some type of a pulse or some type of a wave,
Yeah.
because of the perfect formation that they were in, but I didn't know what, what type of wave that would be.
Yeah. So again, it has to be a star that does that sort of thing. So we go back to stars. But I mean, only a star can cause this kind of ripple effect, and it's actually wave fronts of energy. So there's a time interval between one ejection and then the next, and they are very regular. It's very strange. I wonder what kind of object, what kind of size and shape would do this kind of thing. I've been thinking about it for a while, actually, but I'm not sure. I just see that there's something there that's causing this.
Yeah, I wish I had better. I wish I
You
had
can
better.
see it.
Wish I had better. Well, not even like a photograph equipment program
Okay.
to analyze these photographs a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here playing around with trying to tune it in a little bit better while we have the live.
I think it looks better when you lighten it. You definitely see it a bit better.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go to the original image. Now, this is the original image, and whenever you see this, the original image, it plays back. It plays through so fast that you don't even notice it. But what caught my eye was this shadow. Yeah, this right here, that little football shape right there is what caught my eye, and this very large circle around what is supposed to be Jupiter.
Yes, there's definitely something there.
So what I can do from this point, what I could do from this point is try to lighten. Or,
that, Scott, that object, that little object that you first pointed to, now it seems to me that the black portion is like the only portion that's sticking out of a cloud, whilst the whiter part, the lighter part, may be a cloud of ionized gas around it.
Yeah, so I was thinking the same thing, that has to be something there. I'm just trying to tune this in. You can go ahead and keep your commentary going. I'm just trying to.
It looks actually like that brown dwarf that I observed in 2007, which NASA is not too happy about. But, that's what I saw. And this object looks similar. It definitely looks like there's a ring of cloud around it. And the object is black. And, when they first come into the solar system, I think they blacked because they don't emit a lot of radiation. The cloud is what emits. That's why the cloud usually emits light, although these are particles. So it's a shrimp image. So it means something different that it's dark. It means that it's emitting another kind of particle to what the cloud is emitting.
Yeah,
so, but it looks very.
Yeah, this original image.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely see the large round shape behind what they labeled as Jupiter. So they're obviously hiding something there in the background.
Yeah, because my video making software is a lot more sophisticated than the regular program that I have in to view pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just absolutely amazed. Yeah, see, I can hardly even adjust it because I had taken these photos and screenshotted them, and I used my video program to actually set these up.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, well, what I pick up immediately is the rectangular wavefronts. I see those. Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be an object there on the left edge of the image that's producing those. So, yeah, the article we were talking about yesterday, it showed there were 3 different objects that were ejecting plasma. So that to me told me there were 3 brown dwarf stars.
My goodness.
Now this one that ejects this kind of regular pulse thing, That's another one. That's a different one. So we now have 4. So basically, we now have 4 brown dwarf stars, evidence for 4 brown dwarf stars close to the sun.
Oh my.
So, yeah. Because if you have one image where, or a series of images where plasma ejections come